What SmartStore was designed to do was to interact with a cloud or on-prem based S3 offering, which would allow us to reduce what we would call the classic Splunk classic index clustering. And so what it's designed to do is it is going to place your warm and formerly cold buckets of storage into S3 compliant storage, such as that from Cloudian. And so what this allows us to do is it reduces storage costs greatly, because what we are doing now is we're leaning on Cloudian to utilize their storage technology instead of using the repeated storage of multiple objects within a classic Splunk storage architecture where there's a lot of repeated buckets sitting around. And so what we can do is we can leverage the Cloudian storage to allow us to get that high availability and data resiliency from their platform instead of having to rely on replication of data within Splunk. Further, what it allows us to do is we can scale the storage and compute resources differently, right? So if we can leverage the immense scale of that backend storage, we can focus more on the compute side with those indexers, right? So if we have a situation where the CPUs and that sort of thing aren't being pegged all that much, but we need additional storage, that's a fantastic use case for SmartStore, right? Further is kind of the bootstrapping capability of SmartStore, whereas previously, if you added a new indexer into the cluster, you'd have to do a rebalancing operation so that it would kind of be able to join that cluster. Whereas now, with all that data living in Cloudian and S3 compliant storage, SmartStore says, hey, I want to attach a new indexer to this thing. And we're ready to go almost instantaneously because it has access to all that historical data. So it gives us a lot of advantages there, which also means that from a recovery perspective, that if you do have some sort of hardware issue or an entire site goes offline, the time to recovery is dramatically better when you're using SmartStore, in conjunction with that storage.